especially in areas like Parkdale, but also in other areas like there's now a whole ring around the downtown core where people live in crumbling old apartments and pay far too much rent. First of all, what you're dealing with is recent immigrants, racialized minorities, the working poor. These are the people who need help. They cannot, nobody's helping them, in fact. And the other irony is they pay 4 times as much taxes as homeowners per square foot, because condos are not taxed that high, but apartment buildings are taxed as commercial property. So they pay more taxes and they get nothing. They get no adequate enforcement of maintenance rules, and the rents go up and up, and so they definitely need an advocacy organization. So I'll get her to do her own building. And you all know which buildings to do, right? Yeah. And you all know you have to do it before Tuesday of next week, right?
Yeah, we're going to do ours tonight.
Yes, sir.
Great. As you know, that we left the pickup times the same. It's on the flyer. The yellow bus, it'll probably be at Queen Vic Public School a little bit after 10 o'clock. Okay, so Malik, can you be there?
Yes, I will.
So to make sure that people know that this is the bus that goes, right? Because, okay, so Malik will take care of it at that end. Then the bus goes to Tyndall, and Naveed and Andy, you guys can be there. They send us an invoice. The total is going to be around $375.
I talked to Unite Here, the hotel restaurant workers. They're kicking in $100, which is great. I think they have a number of members that live in this area. And the CAW will cover the cost of the bus.
Wow.
Woo. So I think we're probably, so you can, phew.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Let's have a round of applause.
If you need me to try to raise more money, I can talk to some other folks.
If you can, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, we're okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Great rally, everybody. Give them hell. See you all later.
Okay. Have a good trip. You try and do as much as possible with very limited resources, and also with very little money. I mean, it does take a little bit of money to operate, but you do not want to go and apply for grants and stuff, because then you are not free anymore to do the kind of in-your-face stuff that the Parkdale Tenants Association has been doing.
Tenants in the building that drive you nuts, they're putting up with the exact same shit you are. They have the exact same problems. So if you're asked by the media, you're asked to come up and make a speech, keep your complaints, keep your stories to things that the landlord is doing. Keep complaints to the shape of the building and problems with your landlord. The other tenants in the building are, even if they're not here, even if you can't speak the same language as them, they're your allies today, because you're just going up against an enormous, really rich, really uncaring landlord.
Traditionally, the tenant model has been that you got to get the people in the buildings organized. How do you organize them? Well, that's the mechanics, but you got to get them organized, because without them, you're not going to have any changes at the governmental level. And don't forget, a lot of these people are disenfranchised. They can't vote. They're not Canadian citizens yet. They don't know how to speak English. There's huge, humongous problems. So they need an advocacy organization, but they need to be involved in that organization. And it's actually quite interesting if you have some mass meetings where the ideas that some people come up with, that comes out of the people who live in the apartments themselves. president of the Parkdale Tenants Association, but she's also a madcap tenant. What a coincidence. Diane?
The landlord don't care about tenants, they care about themselves, and they care about as long as they get a place rented, that's all. They don't care nothing about tenants. The tenants have so much a problem, complaining nothing have been done. We want to send our message across. We're gonna keep on fighting until we get what we want. We won't give up. We will keep on fighting. And we have to stick together, and we have to fight together to get what we want. Because they're not listening to leaving deaf ears upon us. And we are the tenants, we pay our rent, we deserve better. We don't deserve slum building, we don't deserve a crappy place to live on, we deserve better. And we gotta keep on fighting. We're not giving up easily. We got to stick together as one, and we can make lots of things happen. Okay, thanks very much.
I salute you for making the issues you face very public through this rally. Issues like building maintenance, security, and cleanliness. Issues like separate hydro bills when tenants have no control over how well insulated their building is or how new their windows are. What happens to tenants on fixed incomes if the hydro rates rise dramatically? With the money that the many thousands of tenants across Toronto pay to Metcalf, their apartment buildings ought to be a model of good housing. They are not. This must change. By publicly standing together here today, you as tenants are challenging the powerful Metcalf Corporation. Don't be intimidated. This is the only way things will change. It might not change after one rally, it might take more. But if you refuse to accept poor conditions and keep standing up for your rights, you will succeed. I wish you all the best in your struggle and join you in solidarity. Peggy.
Thank you. What we're trying to do with the Golden Cockroach is turn a bad landlord into a good landlord. Now that's going to take some time. That's going to take some time. But we've done it before. We did it with Tobis Investments a couple of years ago. Those buildings are now excellent, and it started with the Golden Cockroach, which shamed the city to take action. There was a horrible maintenance mess there, third world conditions, it was awful. And now the buildings are really good because the city of Toronto was shamed into taking them to court because of the Golden Cockroach. You know, it's like winning any trophy. Now, symbolically, they are the winners of the Golden Cockroach. On that note, we now have Heinz with the Cockroach Boogie.
Listen to London, playing guitar, Cockroach Boogie, oh, come on, we got Cockroach Boogie. Cockroach Boogie, ah, boogie tonight. Cockroaches live and die, I thought they wonder why. Cockroaches trying to hide when the light gets back, ah, boogie tonight. I got the Cockroach Boogie, Cockroach Boogie, Cockroach Boogie.
ODSPD, welfare, but a lot of people are working in low-paying jobs, and it's hard enough to. Many are recent immigrant groups, and so they have enough on their minds, and then you have to deal with a bad landlord as well. So that's pretty bad.
I heard it, I don't know for sure, but they said if there's no meters in your building, they're going to charge like $250 for each meter. That's what I've been hearing.
Could you imagine?
But with us, when we moved in our building, the meter was already there, so we didn't have to.
People get involved, they develop an expertise, and then they move on. Quite often. So like the core group that we had that was doing all the door knocking and the questionnaires and stuff with the Golden Cockroach campaign, most of them are gone now. And so then new people come in. That's not the problem. You can bring in new people, But then you have to develop, that expertise has to be developed again.